computer. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first Monday night of the course. So Monday nights are going to be a shorter, sharper session than Thursday. And normally it's not so much as a full training. It's going to be more of a bit of goal setting, a bit of accountability, putting you into groups, having a bit of a chat and just seeing how we can help and serve you more. So it would be really good if we get a bit of feedback after tonight about the training on Thursday, what you took from it, you know, if there's anything at all you're struggling with about that, or whether you're feeling that that is happening. I know not, you know, I've tried to do my gratitude and my affirmations every day, and I know I haven't done it every day, so I you know, I'm guilty as well. Things get in the way, but I certainly have been writing my goals down every day, and that does make me feel much more focused. And today is mostly about goals and goal setting and what goals actually mean, and a few sort of top tips to helping you achieve those as well. So how have you all been getting on? Has anybody succeeded in doing affirmations and goals every day since Thursday? Well done, Adam. Brilliant. Adam's nodding. He's a focused guy. Anybody else? Come on. Oh, well done, Marie. Well done. How have you got on?
I've done my affirmations every day, but not the goals every day.
Okay, that's fine. Very honest. I hope that that's helped as well. How are we getting on with the gratitude stuff?
Yeah. With what?
How about the gratitude stuff? Who's done that?
Oh, no.
So remember the three things, even if you write one thing in each of these three sections every day, I promise you it will help. So the affirmations, thinking about how you're feeling and write something positive to tackle it. And I'm going to nag you about this every time you speak to me, twice a week for the 6 weeks. So maybe by the end of it, we'll be getting there. So the affirmations, the goals, just write something down to make your brain move you in the direction of what you want. Honestly, it works. So just write a goal down, okay, every day, at least one goal. As I say, millionaires do it once, billionaires do it twice a day. And gratitude is so important, because literally where your focus goes, where your mind goes, you get more of whatever you're thinking about. And I promise you it works. So if you're not writing down the gratitude stuff, you may be letting more negative than positive stuff rule your day. So Julie, I know you're feeling down in the dumps a bit at the moment. I know it's going to be difficult, but it really, really will help. You know, just spend a few minutes and think of all the things that you are grateful for, because I know you've got loads of lovely friends and all that sort of stuff. And I know it might make you feel a bit upset when you're feeling down, because it makes you feel ungrateful, doesn't it, when you do that and you're feeling, you know, when you're not feeling great and you start writing down things that you know are great that's happening in your life, it actually makes you feel ungrateful, and that sometimes makes you so uncomfortable you don't do it. But I promise you, if you do it, it starts to turn your brain around to make you realize that things aren't maybe as bad as we think. And
Celia, just as well the key to the gratitude is fake it until you make it a little bit as well. So you can be you offer up the gratitude where you're writing it down and things like that, but actually do it as if you've already succeeded. That's how you actually make the transformation in your brain. That's how you need to rewire. You know, with me, this is how we need to rewire our brains, is to say, I am thankful for the success that came today, such and such, even if it didn't quite happen like that. And you may think that you're lying, and maybe you are, but it's about rewiring. So you're being gratitude and you're surrounding yourself with it.
Yeah, that's perfect, Adam, and that is really true. And actually, when we get onto goals, we're talking about that a bit today, because it is that I already am, isn't it? You know, it's all, I already am successful. I already am in the place I want to be. Because the other thing, when you start visualizing stuff and visualizing goals, is your brain doesn't actually know whether you're telling, you know, whether it's real or not. So my big thing that I remember really used to work well was when I was competing and eventing on horses. So I used to get really nervous when I was about to go out and jump cross country on, you know, on horses around these big fences. And what I always used to do is walk the course if I could the day before. And I would literally go to bed at night visualizing myself having a perfect round, you know, on this horse over these cross country fences going around. And I would ride the round over and over again in my mind until it was absolutely perfect. And it was incredible that 99% of the time when I went out the next day, the round was exactly as I had thought it, because my brain actually was reacting in a way that it was already knew what was going to happen. And that to me was really good. And the other thing was, when I was really nervous before I got on a horse, Horses are very, very perceptive creatures. A few of you in here are horsey, and they can pick it up, you know, very, very quickly if they feel that you are nervous or you're not feeling confident, and then they behave in a bad way. So that, what Adam said about fake it till you make it with a horse, I learned to completely control my fear, make myself feel calm and confident before I got on, so that then the horse reacted in the right way. And all of these things can be done. It's amazing what your mind can do, but you sort of have to practice it. You know, it's like everything. If you've not done it before, you need to practice it. So yeah, I am truly thankful today that whatever it was went well. You know, something happened. I'm truly thankful for my lovely husband, my kids, you know, whatever it is. That there are definitely ways of sort of turning your mind into the positive. So well done, any of you, if you've tried any of it. It might be very alien to some of you. So if you're just starting to take steps in the right direction, then that is awesome. Well done, and that's really good. I'm just checking. Lorraine, you know, I always pick on you. Could I make you co-host? Is that all right? Just before I put the slides up, just so that if anyone else comes in late, could you just let them in? Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely, not a problem.
Very much. Let me just, I think probably everyone's here that's coming live, but oh, I just did it to Julie actually. Sorry, Julie, you're co-host. Is that all right?
Okay, that's fine.
You just pressed the wrong button. So it was Lorraine, now it's Julie. There we are. That was so Julie, you got to stay with us because you're now a very important person in the meeting as co-host. So I've just done a few slides which I'm just going to whiz through. It's not going to be for very long, but it's just thinking about goals. The most important thing about a goal, or one of the most important things about a goal, is to actually want it to achieve it. Now that sounds really strange, but I know in the utility warehouse business, which a lot of you are in, it's very easy. Kate Marshall's just in the waiting room now. Thank you, Julie. It's just let her come in a second. She joining us. There we go. Hi, Kate. Good evening. Hi, Kate. You all right? Nice to see you. I was just sort of getting started, so I just saw you popping in, so I thought I'd wait for a second. So we're just been talking about affirmations and goals and things. We're just getting on to goal setting. And I was just saying that one of the most important things about a goal is to make sure you actually want to achieve it. And now that sounds strange, but I do know that particularly it could be in the utility warehouse business, it's very easy to say, oh yes, I want to get to, let's say, team leader, or I want to achieve the next position. But if you don't really know why you want to do that, or what difference that is going to make to your life, if it's not important enough to you, then why are you going to take the necessary actions to make that happen? So be very careful when you're setting a goal that it is something you really do want to achieve. It doesn't matter if it's a small one or a big one, you need to want it. Because if you don't, it probably isn't going to happen because you won't take the necessary action towards it. So that's just something to think about. So I am going to just share the screen. I've just got a few slides, 6 or 7 slides, that's all. We're just going to go through those and then we'll have a little talk about your goals coming up, a big goal and then a 7-day goal. Oh, my thing has disappeared, but let's see if it's there when I do this. No. Oh, there we are. Cool. Just got to move you over a minute. There we are. Okay, just moving you back. Oh, it's going all over the place. Excuse me, that's just because I'm clicking. Right, here we go. There we are. Can you see that? Okay. I can see Adam and Lorraine and Julie. Is that all right? So just talking about goal setting accountability, we've done that first bit. So we're just going to go through to this next page. So goal setting, oh, stop touching the screen. Goal setting involves the development of an action plan designed in order to motivate and guide a person towards a goal. So that's goal setting. So when you set a goal, it has to be coupled with a plan of action. All right, because if you're just setting a goal and not doing anything about it, you are not going to guide yourself towards it and it's not going to happen. And so goals are more deliberate than desires. So if you just desire something, that's not necessarily a goal, but when you make it a goal, it means you're setting into, you're making a plan for it to happen. All right, and that's the difference really between something that you wish and desire into actually taking it into a goal. And goals have to be driven with intention and action. And a goal means a person has committed thought, emotion, and behavior towards attaining that goal. So again, whatever that goal is, you need to have thought about it. You need to make sure you want it. You need to have some sort of emotion attached to achieving it for it to be successful. How are you going to feel when that goal, whatever it is, happens? And what behavior are you willing to now put into place in order to attain that goal? Does that make sense? So it just makes it something very, very different than just a vague wish or desire. So this is just, I've got some more top tips and things coming. This is just sort of one part of the plan. So recipe for achieving goals. So the goal must be important to you. As I said earlier, you must really want to achieve it. I mean, I'm going to keep saying that because after we've really talked about this, it would be good perhaps to go back. We're going to talk about the goal list in a minute, and go back and actually have a look at your goals and ask yourself, which of these are actually the most important to me? Because when you're prioritizing them, you need to pick the ones that you feel and believe that you can achieve it, and you need to want to achieve it as well. So you might have to dig a little bit deeper into why do you want that? Do you want that just because you think that is something you should have, or do you want it because you really, really want it? You know, I think a lot of my progress towards senior group leader and utility warehouse, for a lot of the time, I knew I was sort of going to get there and I wanted it, but it was in the last year when it became really important to me and I really wanted to achieve it, when I suddenly put massive action into place to get the goal done, because I really did attach emotion to getting to that position and what it would mean to me, what it means to the family, what it would mean to the team, you know, what it means to a lot of people. And that was what spurred me on. So it's okay to have an intention that you want to become a goal, but don't kid yourself that that's the thing you're working towards now. So it's really important to make sure that you are on track with what you really, really want. And of course, telling other people your intention is really important as well, because that's how we make ourselves accountable. You know, that's why they say go and post your goals somewhere public, you know, share it publicly, be accountable, write it down. I've talked about writing it down a lot. So your intention to others is great, but you've also got to keep it making your intention to yourself by keep writing it down, keep focusing on it, and keep believing that it can happen. Another important thing about a goal, if you've got family, you're living with family, even if you've got kids, depending on how old they are, it's a really good thing to share your goal with your close family or people that are going to be affected by the actions you take to achieve the goal. Now, it might be people that you're going to affect in a good way, or certainly when the goal is achieved, it probably will affect everybody in a good way, but it may be on the way to that goal, achieving that goal, you will have to perhaps be a little bit more distant than you were, you know, in whatever situation. But if you can get them on board and explain to them why it's important to you, and explain to them why it could be important to them as well if it's achieved, that will make your journey easier. All right, so, you know, certainly everybody around me knew that last few months my focus was on getting that done, and while that made me maybe a bit more distance from the family, they understood the importance of it, you know, and the way that was going to help everybody then. So it does help to do that. Right, oh, I've done it again. Where were we? There we are. So the impact of goals. So this is interesting as well, because if you are truly focused on a goal, whatever that goal is, you will naturally be drawing your attention towards relevant activity to achieve the goal, and you'll naturally draw yourself away from procrastination and time wasting. Now, if you haven't got a goal, really, you'll find that you drift and you procrastinate, and you move stuff around your desk, and you get your list out and put it down again, and you look at your diary and put it away again, and you do all sorts of stuff. Because you're sort of kidding yourself that you're working towards what you want. Whereas when you really focus on a goal, it really does focus you to be doing the right sort of activity as well. And this is where very focused and driven people tend to achieve goals perhaps more easily than other people. And a goal will serve as an energizer. I know when I'm working towards a goal and I'm excited about something, I feel full of energy, you know, and the bigger the goal, the more energy you need to have, in, you know, so it sort of almost draws energy out of you as well. If you're excited about something, you're working towards it, you will feel better. You'll feel happier as well, because people need purpose. If there's no purpose in your life, then you will feel perhaps, you know, that things aren't going your way. You may feel a bit flat. Sometimes it's just because what you're doing isn't totally in alignment with what you think you should be doing. And there's that great Big Al book about goals, talking about really understanding, well, I can't remember what it's called now, someone will put it in the chat, but about understanding the colours. It's to do with the colours, your personality colours and goal setting, and how you need to align yourself with what you think is right as well. So this is all very important when you're making your goals, that it sits with your values as a person. So working towards a goal provides a person with purpose and greater happiness. And it doesn't matter if you're off track a bit. You know, this is the other thing with this. It's not about putting massive pressure on yourself, and it's not about beating yourself up if you're a little bit off track, because as long as you're going towards it, even at that small step, you will feel like you're fulfilling your purpose. Whereas if you know deep down you're not taking actions towards it, even though you want to, that's when that frustration and, you know, sort of negativity can come in as well. And a lot of that is letting those mindset monkeys get in the way that we talked about last week. So, you know, this is why you've constantly got to be doing those affirmations and telling yourself that you can achieve it. So one of the common goal setting things that we talk about, you'll see this everywhere if you put, you know, goals into Google. This is sort of what a lot of people talk about, is this SMART system of goal setting. So it's definitely worth speaking about this now. So the S is to make the goal very specific. So that's important as well. So again, it depends on what your goal is. So rather than saying, oh, I really want to go on holiday, you need to say where you want to go on holiday, how you're going to get there, what the weather's going to be like, exactly what hotel you want to stay in. You know, that's just one example. So whatever that goal is, it needs to be very specific. You can't just say, for example, my goal is to have a bit more money. You know, that's not a goal. That's just a vague intention. If you said my goal is by the end of 2022 to be earning £5,000 a month in my business, that's a goal. All right. So if you're going to have a financial goal, you need to be very specific about what that is. And again, we get back to the significant. So the significant means it is important to you. So specific and significant. The M means it needs to be measurable. So you need to be able to measure whether you are moving towards that goal or not. So again, if it's financial, you can do that. Even if it was saving for a holiday, you know, you can do that because you'll know what's happening. If it's getting fitter, obviously that's something you can measure, because you can measure whether you're getting fitter, whether it's losing weight, whatever the goal is, you need to be able to measure it. And again, it needs to be meaningful. I think I've said that probably enough. It's got to be meaningful to you, otherwise it ain't going to happen. A means it's attainable. So that means, is it possible for you to achieve that goal? Now, that doesn't mean I don't want you to have massive goals. I don't want you to think, oh, it can't be for me because I couldn't do that right now. Oh, Sue Rose just entered the waiting room, Julie. I don't know if you could see that. Can you let her in? Thank you. So very important that it is attainable. But that could just mean, has anybody ever achieved that goal? So again, I don't want you to, you know, to limit yourselves with that question, but it just means, is it possible? Is it possible for that goal to be reached? And, you know, the 4-minute mile is a good example, isn't it? So once somebody broke it, then everybody did. So if it's attainable, if someone done it, then yes. And action-based just means that you are taking the necessary action on a daily basis to get towards that goal. Hi, good evening, Sue. Thanks for joining us. I hope all's well with you. And this is recorded, so you can go back and watch the beginning of it.
Really
No
sorry,
problem.
I thought it was 7:30. Sorry.
I thought you might actually when you came in. Then I thought, oops, so 7:30 Thursday, 7 o'clock Mondays. That's another lesson for me. I'll make sure it's the same time both nights.
Don't worry, it's me.
No, don't worry. So attainable and action based. And then the R is relevant and rewarding. So relevant means, is it relevant to you? You know, again, is it important to you? Is it relevant to you? Is it going to make a difference to you? And it must be rewarding for you. You know, so whatever that goal is, there has to be that sort of, you know, the prize, if you like, the prize for you. What is the prize of you getting that goal? How are you going to be rewarded, or how are you going to reward yourself? And then the time bound and trackable, again, is important when we talk about breaking a goal down. So even if it is a massive goal that you think maybe is 10 years away, what needs to happen for me to achieve that goal is the question you need to ask yourself. Right, so write that down actually, because I haven't written that anywhere, and that's actually really important. What needs to happen in order for me to achieve my goal? Because there's lots of little things that you can put in place that might help you move towards that goal. So what needs to happen for me to achieve it? And obviously, of course, you can put a time on it and you can track your progress towards it. And, you know, it is said, some people say, you know, that the goal's set in stone, but the time is in sand. So the time you achieve the goal is movable. The goal itself isn't. That's fine, but that can be a bit of a cop-out. So what I would rather you do is actually, rather than do that whole thing to yourself all the time and say, oh, look, it doesn't matter if I don't get it, then I'll just move the date. Rather than that, break it down better and ask yourself, if I start taking different actions today, how many days of those different actions will it take in order for me to get to that goal, and work it backwards so that the date you set is specific, it's measurable, it is attainable, and it is going to be rewarding for you. So set a date that is achievable. I'm not saying you can't fast track stuff, because you can, but set a date that's achievable so that you're not constantly beating yourself up or constantly giving yourself the cop out that it doesn't really matter because I can just move the date. So we were obviously in this course, we're talking mostly, I suppose, really about financial and business goals, or, you know, that's the aim of the course, is to help you all have a more profitable business and help you make money out of what you love doing and bring more money into your life. I suppose that's the aim of the course. However, in order to lead a really well balanced and happy life, there are lots of areas within your life that you need to be thinking about goal setting. So we've got a business or career at the top, relationships and family, financial, because that might not just be related to business. Obviously, that could be talking about your home financial stuff as well. Learning, creative, your attitude, so that's your mindset, health and wellness, adventure, and giving back. So that's how I see the sort of spokes of the wheel. They talk about the wheel of life. Sometimes they're called slightly different things, but those are the main areas in your life. Take a screenshot of that if you want to. I'll put some of this up in the group as well. Now, you might find if you were to draw a circle and put all of these different things sort of as like a spoke on the wheel, and then what you do is you go around and you give yourself a mark out of 10 for each one, how you think you're doing at the moment. So some of you might say, oh yeah, business wise, I'm smiling because I can see Ash at the moment, she was smiling, so I think I know a little bit what her wheel might look like. So if you said, you know, business, yeah, I'm smashing business, oh okay, I'm not saying relations, I'm not talking about you now, Ash, don't take this one way, but you know, you might say, well, you know, health and wellness, I'm not doing quite so well on that, and adventure, I should be doing more on that, giving back, yeah, I'd like to do more on that. It could be, you know, your attitude is the thing that really you need to set some goals, as in mindset. I don't mean you've got bad attitude, so don't take that the wrong way, anyone, but you know, mindset could be the thing you need to do more on. So make sure that when you're writing your big list of goals that we can talk about in a minute, that actually there is something in all of those sections, because if you're missing one of those sections out completely, the chances are you're probably not feeling 100% balanced in life. Oh, I think Barry just dropped out, Julie, and he's trying to get back in. Thank you. He's left us, but he's coming back. So yeah, so definitely worth a picture of that. This is worth having somewhere on your lawn, on your wall to have a look at every night. I always said lawn, because it is something to just sort of remind yourself sometimes that maybe there's stuff there that you're not actually prioritizing enough. So some of you will have done this exercise with me before, but this is a lovely exercise to do. Even if you did it quite recently, go and do it again, because you might find they've changed, because your goals change quite a lot. But go and grab 10 minutes out of your busy life at some point over the next week, if you can, and write down 50 goals, at least 50 goals. So 50 things you want to achieve. Bearing in mind that list I've just written down, that might actually help you think of a few that weren't on the list you did last time. Because you might have missed out your wellness, you might have missed out your mindset goals, because one of your goals could be, I want to just feel more confident on a daily basis. You know, I want to feel more upbeat on a daily basis. That could actually be a goal that you can think, how do I achieve that? So once you've done your 50, now some of you have already done your goals I asked you to last week, so I don't want to confuse you. This is sort of something else to do. Put them into those categories that we've just talked about. So once you've got your goals written down, now some of them will cross over, some of them will go in both categories. For sure, that's fine. Probably pick the one that, you know, is most relevant to it. And then we're going to talk about one big goal. And then eventually what you're going to do is pick one from each category. But for now, if we're talking about over the next 6 weeks, let's work on one business goal and one other. All right, so one business goal and one other. So the other could be wellness, it could be mindset, it could be creativity, it could be learning. You might decide that there's stuff you still want to learn. Learning is key, actually, because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And so sometimes when you feel a bit stuck, it's because you're not, it's not just about the personal development books necessarily, it's about actually growing as a person and learning new skills. And that does make you feel more fulfilled if you're learning new stuff as well. And then what we've got to do is break it down. So what do you want to achieve? What can you do on a daily basis to move forwards towards it? How long is it going to take? You know, break it down and work backwards to see what you need to do. And then we're just going to go through these sort of 10 key steps. I've just got to move my thing again. 10 key steps to achieving your goals. we're going to go back to it again. Write them down every day, or write something down every day. It's going to start to happen. It'll start to sink in. Definitely buddy up and be accountable. So my goal for this Monday night is that what we do is we just set our next 7 days goal, and then next Monday we literally just do a bit of a recap. How did that go? Did you achieve it? What could I do better? What are you going to do over the next 7 days? So it's simply just a quick accountability session. When I put you in breakout groups in a minute, you're not always going to be with the same people each week, because that would blow my mind to try and organize that, but that doesn't matter. So we'll have 3 or 4 of you in each little group. You can go around, just do your goals with each other, accountability. It's just the fact that you're showing up and you're willing to talk about what went well or what didn't go well, and that should just help keep you a bit more track. Please believe you are good enough. You know, that I've put the mindset bit in there because it is so important. I often check in with myself because it's so easy to get very distracted in life, particularly with social media and all sorts of things going on. So check in with yourself every couple of days or every day, or depends how distracted you get, could be every hour, and just say, is what I'm doing right now actually taking me towards my goals or not? And you'll find you've been an awful lot of stuff when you ask yourself that question, because a lot of the stuff you're doing really isn't serving you well. It's just procrastination or distraction. Get back on the horse, I've said again in here, like I did last week, because if you've had a bad day, or you're having a bad day, or you're having a bad week, don't let that stop you, and don't let that rob you, because we all have bad days. And the secret is to be as consistent as you can and pick yourself back up, shake yourself off, and go again, even when you feel like you've been kicked down. And that's the difference between those that really succeed and those that don't. I believe that's probably the biggest difference, is the people that will just get back up, knock themselves off and keep going, you know, just keep plowing forward. And it's hard. It's really hard sometimes. Obviously, we've got the positive personal development. Yes, sorry.
I was going to interrupt you at this point. For me, biggest thing is every day you start again. Every day. The amount of times I have written a day off, it's gone wrong. You go to sleep, you start again the next day. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. It really is. You have to.
That's my mantra anyway.
Yeah,
that's that might help.
Yeah, I love that, Ash. Thank you for that. No, it's so true, because it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, does it? Today is a new day, and you can change. Everything can change in a minute. You know, everything can change in a day. Put a song on that you love to hear. Put something on that puts you in the right mindset, and just keep going. It's hard, but it works, and that is the way to keep moving forward. Obviously, we've got positive stuff you can listen to. Obviously, break the goals right down. I said that a minute ago. What needs to happen in order to achieve that? That's really important, because it might be things that you don't always think about. You know, if you want to buy a house, for example, you know, you've got to be thinking about, what's my credit rating like? What can I do to improve that? I need to get a deposit together, you know, and it's like practical stuff sometimes. Whatever your goal is, break it down. What needs to happen for me to achieve that? Create positive affirmations. We've talked about that. Do something every day. I mean, I'm not saying you've got to work every day, but a lot of these goals we've talked about aren't work, are they? They're in all areas of your life. So if you do something every day to work towards one of your goals, you will finish every day feeling like you've achieved something. And that is a good place to be, even if it doesn't go quite to plan. And definitely celebrate every success, every small win on the way. You know, give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate it, because otherwise the work and the slog and the effort will not seem worth it, and you'll very, very easily get tripped up. So yes, definitely don't worry if it doesn't all happen as you wanted it to, because we all love that saying that if you shoot for the stars, even if you don't make it, you may land in the moon. And that's what it's all about. It's about, you know, dreaming big, going for it, and getting to a place that you feel is moving forwards a little bit. Right, I think that is a yes. Okay, so that's that. And we're going to come out of the screen share now. So obviously Thursday, we're talking about money mindset and things like that, which is very good. I'm going to give you a disclaimer now. I'm not a financial expert in any shape or form, but luckily Ash is. So she's going to sweep up after Thursday and tell you all the proper ways to make money and do things. I'm just going to talk about, no, it'll be good. We're going to have fun. Right, so let's come out of the screen share now. Brilliant. Okay, so Who, just give us a little hands up. You can use the reactions or just stick your hand up, whichever is easiest for you. Who did set their next 7-day goals after we did the thing the other day? So who actually managed to get something down, what you want to achieve over the next 7 days? Okay, a mix of you, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. If you haven't, when you go into the breakout room in a minute, just be honest and say, I haven't done it yet, but just listen to the others that have, all right? And then maybe just start to scribble some stuff down. It can be as simple as you like. But what would work really well is if you just give yourself, a target to do over the next 7 days, write a few goals down. You may change it a bit compared to what we've just said tonight. You might be thinking about some other areas of your life that you haven't considered. There might be all sorts of changes. It doesn't matter. It's not set in stone. So I did mine and I shared them. Actually, I'm just looking at them now. So my next 7 days was I was going to do at least 4 UW presentations. I'm going to get 1 new member a day into the Mums in Business group. This is just in the Facebook group, which just means me reaching out to people, doing a bit of activity. 3 new members a day in Passion to Pocket, and exercise at least 3 times for 20 minutes. Oh, did I really write that down? Damn. Okay. Okay, so there we are. I have publicly shared what I've got to do for the next 7 days. I'm sure I will. In fact, I've done 3 presentations today. Does that count, or do I have to start from tonight? No, I'll start again from tonight. That wouldn't be fair, would it? So, simple things. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just about you starting to think, that is what I want to achieve over the next 7 days, and then trying to make that happen, in whatever that looks like to you. Think about what you need to do on a daily basis in order for that to happen. Try not to leave it all till Sunday next week. Try and get it done a little bit every day, whatever it is that you want to achieve. I'm not doing 3 lots of exercise next Sunday, so I'm going to have to start tomorrow. I have done quite a bit of exercise, actually, chasing horses around fields mostly, which is fine. Okay, so that's fine. So what I said tonight wasn't going to be too long. Obviously, that first bit tonight will be longer than normal. That was just because I wanted to go through all that goal setting stuff. So we won't go through all that every Monday. But I'll just put you into breakout rooms now for, 10 minutes. Okay. And then we'll just come back, just a quick wrap up, and then that'll be it for tonight. Is that all right, everybody? Now I'm just looking, there is 20 people. So if I do 5 rooms, 4 in each, then that works okay, I think. Are you all familiar with breakout rooms? A little thing will pop up on your screen saying, join this room. If you don't join it, you'll just end up staying in the main room. And if you accidentally press a button and leave it, you'll come back to the main room, or you might just leave the meeting completely, but don't worry about it. I'm just going to stop recording because recording doesn't work very well when we're not all here. Hang on.